I used to be a dancer. That's why I didn't get up earlier and show you my moves. That was before the accident. In fact, I was a musical dance theater major in college. I was studying to be a singer and a dancer and an actor on the stage and be a performer. That was my dream. And I was engaged to a really cute guy. His name was Cole. But 1 week before we were going to get married, we crashed. They told me I was a complete quadriplegic. They said I was going to be ventilator dependent. They said I would never get married. They said I would never have a family. They said I would never sing and I would never dance again. They even told me and my family that I would probably die in a few years due to complications of a spinal cord injury. That was 17 years ago. Three months after the accident, I walked out of the hospital. But what if I had taken that prognosis of being completely quadriplegic and given up? I could have been negative and bitter and angry, but I chose to remain positive because I knew I could walk again. And I made sure every time the doctors came in the room, I told them, I will walk. But I couldn't even speak at that point because I had a tube in my neck helping me breathe. So I had to mouth the words. Two weeks and 2 surgeries later, they took me from critical care down to the rehabilitation floor. At this point, I was starting to regain some feeling in my body. And it's kind of like, when you sit on your foot too long or you sleep on your arm and it falls asleep. And then when it starts to come back, it hurts and you get the pins and needles and you get the tingles. That's what my body felt like all over, and it hurt. It was 10 times the pain of just a foot that fell asleep. And the only thing that would help relieve that pain for me was for someone to rub my feet, rub my hands, rub my arms, rub my legs. So one day, it was 1996, and it was the summer of the Atlanta, Georgia Summer Olympics. Cole and I would watch the Olympics at night after a long day of physical therapy, and he would rub my feet. And all of a sudden, he was rubbing my feet, and all of a sudden he said, "Abby, did you do that?" And I said, "Do what?" He said, "Your foot moved. Did you move your foot?" I said, "No." He said, "Try to move your foot. Your foot moved. Try to move your foot." So with all the energy I could muster, about as much as it takes Jenny to wiggle a 5K, I sent the message from my brain down to my foot, and all of a sudden, my left big toe moved. And then my whole left foot moved. And then within about 20 seconds, my whole left leg moved. And I was dancing again. From that moment on, every time Cole would go home at night, he would say, "Show me something new tomorrow." And it was that positive attitude that we both carried through the remainder of my recovery that got us through. Now, don't get me wrong. Just because things were going our way doesn't mean we had a smile on our face every day, and it was a party, and it was easy, and we were happy. There were a lot of tears shed, and there were a lot of prayers said. But we knew that with a strong faith and a determination and thinking positive thoughts, that everything would be okay. Cole and I got married 11 months later. 3 years after that, we had our first child, Caleb. Caleb, when he was about 2 or 3 years old, just talking and being cute like toddlers are, he came up to me one day and he said, "Mom, do patty cake like this with me." And so I did this, and he said, "No, Mom, both hands. Use both hands." I said, "Buddy, I can't use both hands. This one's broken." He said, "Does it need batteries?" Wouldn't it be wonderful if we could all think that positively and think like a child? The next time life gets you down, which it will, and it has, and it is, will you get up and dance? Thank you.